Hi, I'm Beaver Buddy. Get ready for a magical children's story with a meaningful message. Have you ever wondered where stories sleep when the quiet night falls? By the end, you'll discover a moral you'll never forget. Beneath an old oak tree, the whispering library rested. Wixi, a tiny turquoise bookworm, read by glowing mushrooms that pulsed softly like breathing stars. Wixi devoured books with his ridged belly, humming tunes he learned from distant mountains, deserts, and seas, while flipping pages with gentle wiggles. One dusky evening, he found a massive tome with blank pages. No scent, no glow, just empty paper cold as frost and heavy with silence. He tapped the cover 3 times, a ritual for shy books, but nothing happened. The book stayed quiet, swallowing light like a deep well. Then came Liora, a silver-winged glow-moth who collected lost words for her cocoons. She trailed sparkling letters in her graceful flight. She explained that forgotten stories lose their letters, which float away like dust, leaving behind silent books and fading memories. Determined to help, they followed drifting vowels and scattered consonants through root tunnels that hummed like sleepy thunder. Murals of moons and quills glowed when Liora passed, revealing secret halls that rearranged themselves into a shifting maze of echoes. Suddenly, a quake shook the shelves. Ink seeped from cracks, forming dark puddles that reflected worried eyes and trembling pages. Wixi realized the library was sinking into a misty cavern that erased memories. They had to save it before all stories vanished forever. He suggested patching cracks with old covers, but that meant destroying unread tales. A painful choice neither of them could accept. Liora recalled an old rhyme. Ink remembers light. Maybe sunlight could save the words and stop the leaking before it was too late. But sunlight had never touched this place. They had to open the sealed hatch above the oldest, dustiest star-covered atlas. They squeezed past crooked books until they found a bronze hatch with a quill-shaped lock and a dial coated in greenish fungus. The dial posed a riddle. I speak without voice and vanish when you're near. Wixi whispered, "Echo," and the lock clicked open. A bright sunbeam spilled in, gilding the shelves. The leaking ink froze mid-drip, forming shiny black rivers between wooden planks. Letters returned to the pages like sparks flying home. The once empty tome pulsed with life, its cover warm and whispering softly. But now the roots were cracking. The library rose upward, pulled by sun-hungry vines, risking the great oak above. Liora spun glowing letters into the air and wrote, "Return only what's needed." The light narrowed, saving just part of the room. The roots calmed. The pull faded. Cracks stopped growing. The saved books glimmered, while the rest waited in peaceful shadow. Wixi hugged the restored tome. It hummed gently, syncing with his soft munching. Around them, mushrooms glowed brighter than ever. Inside the pages was a tale just like theirs, written centuries ago. Somehow, their journey had already become part of a story. They laughed, realizing they'd stepped into legend. From now on, future readers would whisper their names. That night they held a celebration. Fireflies formed punctuation, and root mice drummed nutshells in joyful rhythms. The library buzzed with life. Even the most wrinkled scrolls uncurled, clearing their ancient throats, ready to be heard again. Wixi promised to visit every day. Liora vowed to carry scattered words into children's dreams, keeping stories alive. As the hatch resealed, they knew sunlight would only return when stories were truly in danger again. Silence settled once more, but it was a warm, glowing silence, filled with hope, like a lullaby before a new chapter. Beaver Buddy reminds us that stories need gentle heroes, small, curious, and brave, just like Wixi and Liora. Moral: remembering forgotten stories doesn't just save pages, it saves dreams, friendships, and the magic that makes us who we are. See you soon with more magical adventures, wonderful places, and heartwarming tales with Beaver Buddy.